Alright guys, so next we're going to get right into another company. Apologize, I have this in a container already. The bag, we had a big snowstorm, it got left outside. The postman buried it, and by the time I got to it, the bag was all, there was a little corner of the bag ripped, and then the box that it came in was kind of all shredded up. So this is from a company, a website called Simkiss Mining. Simkiss Mining. They are out of Arizona, I believe. And this is called their Claim That Got Away bag. Again, I apologize between the mailman and the little tear that was in the bag. It really kind of made a mess of things, but we'll try to get all this out of here. So that's the company, Simkiss Mining. Again, I forget where they're out of. I thought it was Arizona originally, but I actually think it's California. But I'll get that all in the review at the end. You can see there's the tear right there. Just a pinky hole, but yeah, just enough that stuff gets out. And like I said, the mailman was trying to do me a favor and get it closer to the house, and then we got 3 feet of snow almost, and got buried and left until I could get into it. So we're gonna grab that sifter, and maybe we'll just turn this to the side here real quick. Not a whole lot of material. Get the rocks out of it. Whew. Okay, so that rock out of one scoop. Just gonna dump that down into the pan. Again, I'm just rinsing out that container right into a pan with the rocks. This was $35 with shipping. He does have a cheaper bag and a more expensive bags as well. I kind of went in the middle of the road bag. But again, the $35 that was with shipping. His site also, Simkiss Mining, he sells equipment and might even do some tours. I can't remember if he's one of those guys or not. Whew. Wow. Alright, so that's the dirt. Come back over here and get into and we'll just go through that rock quick. Yeah, I'm thinking this might be out of California or Nevada. I can't remember. I'll look again for sure. The reason being, this isn't really a lot of sand. This is a lot of crushed granite or quartz rock. You can see it's really a lot of shells and pieces. And a lot of times with stuff like this, you want to be a little bit more careful and really take the time to look at the rocks, because this, I think this is actually an example here. you can see this edge right here. There's a little bit of gold right in there. And that's obviously where this rock crushing comes from, is the, you know, quartz is soft enough that gold, when it runs in a vein, can go right into the quartz itself in the mineral. And so we're just going to pan this like we'd pan rocks off quick, but I will say that I will go back through this just to look at the rocks too again. Make sure there's no gold in there, maybe run over it with a metal detector even. But right down to the base, really where we want to be. Wow. The first layer of rock sure looks good. Wow. So again, these are just the pieces that were on the rock, or in that first section of rock. Start to see up there. So, everything up there. Nice little pile already just for being around the corner, or just for that first layer. So again, we'll get through that at the end. I'm thinking this stuff is going to be a little bit easier to pan, so I'm going to try to pan some of that in front of you guys, just because the gold is going to be heavier than the quartz or the granite or anything that might be in here. And there did seem to be some black sand at the end, but not a ton. So we're going to take advantage of it being the heavier material and maybe start to talk about panning a little bit. You know, a lot of the prospectors and the people that watch this channel, you know, I'm friends with you on different places and acquaintances, and I try to talk and to keep myself out there for any questions. But a lot of the prospectors, you know, they kind of laugh and do whatever, you know, they might say about everything. And really what I'm trying to show you is, you know, nobody's going to get rich off panning pay dirt at home. I don't think you guys as viewers really think that, but what I think is really common and really an unfortunate side of the mining community is everybody wants to be a professional and be the best you know, person to come through and there and know it all. It really, in essence, though, excludes a lot of hobbyists and people that want to get into the hobby. So there's a great site that you guys have been hearing me talk about a lot lately called goldprospectorspace.com. I think it's a great site. It's very friendly. It's filled with people that absolutely know what they're doing. But the difference is it's industry friendly. You know, they're smart people. They know that they love the addiction of gold fever and finding gold and prospecting, and that there's plenty of people out there, and this is just that first scoop right there, that want to get into the hobby but maybe can't, or they're a little nervous. They don't want to spend you know, $5,000 to go get a dredge made, or even $500 to get a gold cube or something. They, you know, want to start off with a gold pan just like this. And part of buying pay dirts that I talk to people about is they're great practice. There's gold in them. You know, you can go buy a bag of sand and pan that down, and you might find gold in that too. But if you're working with material that's around your house that doesn't hold gold, how do you know if you're panning right if you don't take the time to actually see if you're catching gold or not, or if there was gold there to catch? You know, again, if you're just going to the baseball diamond or the beach and grabbing what's there, there might not be gold in that material at all. And if there isn't, you could be throwing, you know, stratifying wild. You could be kicking out all kinds of material. I think you're doing a great job. But then when you actually get to the point where you're ready to get out and prospect and have a little fun, you know, that's the time that you want those skills refined. You know, those other guys, they might have done that, you know, since they were 4 years old with their parents prospecting, or, you know, God knows what else the other stories might be, who knows. But again, the best way to do that, another little scoop here, 5 little flakes. Kind of talking too much. This stuff hasn't looked too bad so far at all. And again, one of the reasons I'll definitely go through those rocks at the end, because I do think this is crushed quartz. I'll have to look at the description and make sure that's what he's doing. But he just said this does come from one of his mining claims, and so. So, you know, I think there's a number of reasons to buy Paydirt, also to test it. And really what we're trying to do here, guys, is I'm not saying there's a return on investment in Paydirt at all. You know, we buy it as an enjoyment. Somebody else did the hard work. We didn't go out and shovel this. We didn't run it down a sluice. We didn't go, put it into a dredge or into a trommel and take out and, you know, do the hard work of finding it. A lot of times we ordered it online. Mailbox gold or armchair prospecting. But at the same time, we don't want to get screwed at the end of the day. I just want a fair deal. I don't mind knowing that I'm not going to get all the gold that I paid for back. But I do like the experience. And there's different products that are out there for people to buy, you know, depending upon what experience you want. You can get a completely unsearched you know, gravel bag from a company like Prospector John's out of Alaska. I believe that comes right out of his pile, his gravel pile, because that's what he does for a living. He sends people, or people come to him, to his roadside establishment in Alaska, and they pan for gold. So, you know, in those instances, there are plenty of ways that you can get that. A lot of the eBay sellers, though, something that frustrates me is, you know, they like to play on their words so much. They like to guarantee gold, and well, the gold that's there is the 2 flakes that I added. Well, if people are that stupid and they're, you know, shoveling up a Home Depot mix and adding 2 flakes of gold in and getting you on technicality that, yeah, you know, there was gold in that. You can't argue with it. Did you find gold? Absolutely. You told me you did because I put it there. If you're buying those kind of bags, you know, it's going to say a lot of that in the description. Also, I try to talk to you guys about that. You know, if I think it's a little made-up mix or what, you guys are great at answering questions. I've had a question on a Paydirt in California, and I've heard from more than a few people that, yeah, in some parts of California, there's not a whole lot of black sand in the material. And again, I'm not trying to be the expert, guys. I've seen a lot of Paydirts. I've panned through a lot of stuff. You know, I've prospected in the creeks. I've had my fun, but I'm not a professional miner by any means, and I'm not trying to be. I want more people to enjoy the hobby of gold panning and prospecting in the community that's there. You know, besides the couple sellers that we run into every once in a while, really the community as a whole, the people that are out there doing it every day for themselves and not, you know, to sell their material or to try to get rich off of what they're doing. They're just selling their gold, and you know, those people are great people. They're fun. They're informative. They're always willing to share their ideas. And so that's really what I'm trying to share. for all those people that live in areas maybe that aren't great for prospecting. Or I have a gentleman that has told me he's wounded and he can't actually physically get out and prospect. The thing that I would tell him again, and maybe I forgot to mention this to him, but the gold community is getting better at recognizing those needs, and there's a few places, I don't know them offhand or just by rattling them off here, but that the Gold Prospectors Association of America has claims, and they're not supposed to help people dig material, but they have people there that are watching over their claims, and I think they're making that more accessible, where maybe they can get a scoop to bring down to a prospector that can't go down to the river to get it, or they can bring in the material to a panning station or to the Gold Cube or whatever they're running for the day. So again, this stuff was very easy to pan. Again, I think it's crushed quartz, but I'll have to make sure. There wasn't that's what that real fine powder was too, I think. Was the actual crushed rock. It wasn't so much sand or anything. Yeah, this doesn't look all that bad at all. Try to get that black sand out of there, and I'll give you a picture of the gold that's actually there, and not all the overness around it. All right, what am I doing there? Most of you that prospect know gold does like to walk up and tap. As you tap it, it's good at running to the edge and to bind its weight together in masses. You're trying to really just get all the gold into a concentrated area, and usually it goes to the area that it's tapped into as the heaviest material. Sometimes, guys, I might talk out of my ass too. I start talking about something, and if you guys are anything like me, it triggers your memory to something else, and so I'm trying to do so many things here, I might go off on the tangent on whatever it triggered the memory of. So try to stay with me. If you don't get something, just ask. Yeah, this doesn't look bad at all. Again, not going to get rich off of it, but for the most part, good amount of gold for a bag of pay dirt. Okay, so there it is right there, and we'll pause it now. I'm actually going to do a hard stop because it's going to end anyways, and I'll come back and have it dried out and wait for it. All right, so that's what we got. 0.2 grams, 850 in gold, $35 with shipping. So return on investment about 36%, 38%. Again, that's from Simkiss Mining. Simkiss Mining, or Simkiss, excuse me, mining.com. Overall review. He did ship when he said he was going to. I had a few problems, but that was my own issue and the postman. He did respond to all of my questions and concerns. Packaged fine. Return on investment, like I said, about 35%. So would have to rate him about a 5 out of 10. Again, nothing wrong with it. Good pay dirt. And like I said, I am going to go through, in his fairness, the rocks again and make sure that there's no gold stuck on there. I'll probably even crush these down even more than what they're crushed right now and see what else I can recover out of it. So maybe because I'm uncertain and I think there will be more gold in this, maybe I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Again, the return on investment, not great for here, but in these tailings, I think there's going to be more gold. Like I said, I panned through it quick. Real easy to pan. I'm not going to pan this twice because I did get all the large pieces out of it, but maybe these rocks, if we crush these a little bit more, you can see them start to break apart. We'll find even a little bit more. So right now, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I will review him again. I'll order from him under a different name, different address, and see if we can get a comparison between the two bags that way. So until next time, may there always be some color in your pan.